Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things to make something work. Taking over. What kind of management do we have, or how do we want to interpret our restaurant that we're working at, or the venue, or let's say the project that you want to do? Is it a high-end, upscale kind of position, or is it more laxed in different things that we're going to be talking about today? So the quote is, management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. So why good leaders make you a safe place, feel safe? Why would you say that makes it safe for you to do different things? So we're going to go down to the next one. Styles of leadership. Nearly all management and techniques are based on one of four major styles of leadership. Autocratic. Leader make all the decisions. Sometimes a chef feels that he has to make all the decisions. A lot of it doesn't come from him so much as it comes from the owners that run or own the place. What their dream is, what their interpretation is. Bureaucracy. Rules are ultimate authority. Leader, we're there to ensure they are followed. Democratic. All participants are involved in decision making. They've hired people that make the decisions for each department and then put it together. Laissez-faire, employees that are allowed to make their own decisions without oversight from the manager. Can you imagine sometimes the chaos just for that? It's a big item. Things that you have to get to don't know where you're going to go to the next part. These leadership styles exist on a spectrum, with autocratic leadership being the easiest.
Autocratic.
Effective. Laissez-faire being the most difficult, but the most effective. Meaning, sometimes they think that the people allowing the department head to make their own decisions. Sometimes, in a hotel atmosphere, when there is a lot of people involved, sometimes the executive chef passes the buck. I don't know if sometimes it's really good in a small kitchen so much. Leadership skills, like most abilities in life, must be earned through practice and hard work. However, there are many different ways to be a good leader. In fact, great leaders often incorporate different styles of management at different times. Kimberly, are you there? Good morning.
Good morning.
You weren't there Friday.
No, I wasn't feeling good.
You didn't feel good? Okay, did you feel better now?
No.
You still don't feel good?
No.
Okay, tired?
Very.
Very tired? Okay, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
But I'm glad you're here. So, the simple best management style. Anybody that works, what kind of style do you like, or what kind of atmosphere that you want to be in? Marcus.
To describe where is my...
I'm a fan of the bureaucratic, actually, myself, just because it feels like there's a better structure underneath everything, so that way there's more control that's known about throughout the entire facility.
Kindrex, what about you? Good morning.
Can you hear me, Michelle?
I sure can.
Just Michelle.
You doing all right?
What type of management style? Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I was cleaning a coop up. Yeah, one of them ones.
I can't hear you.
Hello?
can't come on? Okay. Donna. It's okay, Kendrick. Having trouble. You can shut it off. Thank you. How about Loretta? I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry, forget to.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, I'm kind of like Marcus. I like structure. So, I pretty much would go with the bureaucratic style.
Don't you think that majority of people want structure?
I think it works better that way.
I think all individually, when you start out in a restaurant or a hotel or something, you want some good leadership to let you direct you in the way that you need to be going to make that project work or that event work. It's so really important. I really believe in that. I think sometimes if too many people, there's too many bosses in a kitchen, it kind of really makes it difficult.
Yes, that's true.
And so the simple and perhaps somewhat disappointing answer is that there is no method of leadership that is always the superior to all other types of management. The best type of management style is one that's flexible, adaptable, and appropriate for given circumstances. This is true because different situations call for different kind of leadership. There's somebody that can be in leadership or a director of what the project is. If you're too soft, some people just walk all over you. Some people in the staff on the front line. You've got to be somebody that can empower people to do what they're supposed to do. Doesn't mean when I say the word empower, take over them, but kind of put them in the right direction of where they want to go. And that is really the important factor of when you run a kitchen. You need to sometimes come down to the level of the person cooking behind the line because he might not have a good day. And in order to, I'm not going to say the right word, you all are going to jump at me, convince him or make him do things that is acceptable for the kitchen. So you cannot be yelling or screaming at somebody when he couldn't take it. So you've got to adjust to each person and each personality to make it work. Do you all understand that? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? I want to see thumbs up, guys. You got to be all in it. All right, I really appreciate it, guys. To make it, when deciding how to act, you need to take a number of things into consideration. We were just talking about that. Here's how few of the factors that will influence which management style you'll need to employ. Remember, an executive chef that does the hiring, sometimes human resources comes in the pictures and gets it all out and gets them ready for you. They kind of have an idea of who they want to hire. Sometimes it's just an executive chef writing off the wall. I mean, coming in the door and the executive chef talks to them. Because there's not a human resources department. So the type of business you manage, really important. The volume of work that needs to be done. Your personality and investigate management qualities. The personality and attitude of the staff you're currently managing now. Whoa. Whoa. There's always one. Did you see my finger? Always one. That disrupts sometimes. And you have to kind of sometimes work around it. But that one usually is the one that can kick ass on the front line. I know I'm saying some words I shouldn't be. But you understand what I'm talking about. So we have to play or not play, but work it out so that we can all get along. Is that true? Thumbs up. I want to see those thumbs. You know, while I'm talking, if anybody has a question, would you please let me know? I would really, really appreciate it. Autocratic leadership of these types, this is the easiest. All you have to do is give orders and demand them to be followed. You don't need to put them in effort to create a standard procedure. Bureaucracy. Get employees' input and decision-making, democratic, and empower employees to work independently. So, aromatic leadership is vital to many workplaces environments. This style is necessary within organizations and companies that demand error-free outcomes. While aromatic leadership is one of the least popular management styles, it is also among the most common. The aromatic leadership process general entails one person making all the decisions for the group. Also, it's fallen out of favor in recent decades, but it's still very prevalent. Feels like the Army, doesn't it?
Yeah, they build you up the way that they want you to be built.
That's right.
Just like the military.
That's right. So it's a different thing. What is autocratic leadership? My way or the highway? There are many contemporary examples for leaders who prefer my way or the highway technique. Is made famous by certain military and political leaders, sport coaches, and industrial age. But let me tell you, I've been in a kitchen for a long time. Sometimes that's the only way to get it done. It's awful to say that. But if a job has to get done, and sometimes people don't want to listen to anything else except you coming across being a leader. Do you all get it? And maybe it is a negative, but you balance it out to what your kitchen is all about. I think, Chef, you understand what I'm saying, because it needs to get done. It has to get done. And sometimes people don't like the outcome.
Yes. I mean, you do have to be autocratic at some point when you're managing, for sure.
In the leadership role, I would think so. Tons of criticism due to numerous factors. Here are big three. Adolf Hitler. And the president of China. And Fidel Castro. He was the leader of Cuba. Dictatorship. I don't mean the kitchen needs to go to a dictatorship, but it definitely needs to follow rules and regulations of what we have to get done. If you don't do it precisely sometimes, it really doesn't make the end result good sometimes. I'm not saying to do it every day. I didn't mean to say that. I want you to flow and be you who you are. But also you've got to really realize that needs to have some direction. And some people don't want to listen to coming together to work. They need to be told, and a period behind it. There are leaderships who become fallback positions for managers of people who lack skill, training, and experience. And sometimes the only way that they can do it is a little bit of dictatorship. I know but that sometimes, you know, they say sometimes to be hard on somebody is you end up learning a little bit more. Some people are very uncomfortable working in an bureaucratic leadership because they feel authoritarian, that somebody is right there to tell them what to do every minute. Even if the most suitable management style of training experienced staff or implement consistent quality control process. Others are motivated by concern. Others direct with corn-made commands. Decision-making does not involve others. I think sometimes if decision-making should be a team effort of all the leaderships in the department of what you are. So if you are in the garde-manger section, the head person in the garde-manger, the front line, they should all, and the executive chef, the executive sous chef, should all have a meeting on how they direct people to do things. I don't mean it to be dictatorship, and I think you kind of have a feeling of that. But I definitely want people to understand that a process needs to be done in that kitchen. Because if you're going to let people walk all over, it sometimes makes it a little bit difficult. Definition drives on the word Greek for self. Cratic and implies rule. Often views themselves as automobile engine that drives people under the tutelage of command. Whether it's a major for the city, large city, a CEO of a company, or an agency director. Leaders are self-driven. Their roles in business, government, and other organization is to drive others to perform at their best and accomplish tasks without making a mistake. Oh, there's a lot of mistakes. I think that needs to be kind of changed a little bit. But it's telling people what to do. Any questions? Which leadership do you all like? I need to see some of your faces. Matt, what kind of leadership do you like?
Probably bureaucratic.
Bureaucratic, okay. We're gonna go through all of them. Robert, but Matt, before I forget, don't you think that sometimes you do need authorization on leadership?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends on the situation, of course.
Of course, it needs
I mean,
to be.
you could say you like all of them depending on what it is you're physically doing.
Correct. Yeah, but sometimes people don't want to listen, so you've got to have to come in pretty forceful sometimes.
Of course.
To get it done. But at the end of the event or the end of the day, and everything is going great, or maybe not going because somebody's not listening so much, because hopefully the executive chef has enough experience to run a kitchen. That's what happens sometimes, is they hire these people that have wonderful recipes and have wonderful things, but they can't direct anybody else to do it. You all get what I'm saying? Do you understand? And that's what makes an issue go wrong sometimes to make it work. History. History paints a colorful picture of the Armagnac leadership, although some, like Attila the Hun, Adolf Hitler, and Stalin, were maniacal, I can't say some of the words, guys, traits. Many bureaucratic leaders and inventors who revolutionize industry and advance society. Combination and the process ideas of self-determination and leadership leads to history's most sufficient events. The rise of the Roman Empire under Julius Caesar, the setting of US colonies, thanks to John Smith, and the popularity of automobile due to Henry Ford. So Henry Ford, who helped perfect assembly line manufacturing. Economies of scale in one of the clearest examples of autocratic leadership, who changed society all through Ford's reign, a controversial figure, authoritarian, industrial magnate. He created hundreds and thousands of jobs and raised wages for the assembly line worker. The next one, at the opposite extreme, Huey Long and Richard Daley, political bosses of Louisiana and Chicago, gained immense popularity in their states, even when they violated all kinds of laws, including reportedly murder. So the next one, Abraham Lincoln. He was a leader too, autocratic, and sometimes characterized as an autocratic leader because of many autonomous decisions that made throughout the Civil War. Although Abraham Lincoln did not exhibit many of the characteristics of autocratic leaders, American history demanded a bold president who was willing to make difficult and unpopular decisions between 1861 and 1865. Lincoln rose to the occasion and became an autocratic leader the United States needed at that time. Different ways of interpreting. Examples. Look at the pictures and you go, yeah. For the Alabama Crimson Tide and the New York Patriots, outstanding coaches. Bill Belichick, Bear Bryant, Bill Parcells, and Woody Hayes, along with a list of leaders that were dictatorship or autocratic leadership. In addition to sports, leadership's wells, environments, and they require near perfect accuracy, such as manufacturing, necessary for the staff that needs training quickly and efficiently. Fast food enterprises frequently fall under these categories. Autocratic leadership is also common in professions where life and death decisions occur. Think about ambulatory care, hospitals, police, military, professionals, and fire department. Really, kind of more important than, I would say, the food industry, wouldn't you? To make it work. How about people in the music industry? The music business is often overlooked when it comes to autocratic leaders, whether it's Maestro from the Boston Pops or the lead guitarist. The next one, Chef. Yeah, thank you. Nope, back up. Lead guitarist. Every successful music ensemble requires a leader to maintain consistency and longevity. Two unlikely complementary examples for popular bands: Tom Petty and Heartbreaks and the Eagles. Really kind of make you understand different ventures and then different venues of what you do. Not only in the food business, leadership. So Tom Petty, a Florida native, lead self-tamed band. An infamous perfectionist. How about the next one? Ginny Fry, a Michigan native turned permanent Arizona restaurant resident, co-founder of the Eagles. My way or no way at all, he said. Examples of leadership, founders of many companies. Walmart, Sam Waltons, McDonald's, Ray Kroc. Different things of different people. Other industries well suited. Restaurants, people go to restaurants with big expectations, whether it's fast food chain or upscale establishment. Customers expect, consider service.
Instant.
I'm talking, where did I finished. I wanted to talk to somebody and I didn't finish the sentence. Okay. In order to the combo, okay. So let me ask somebody, does anybody have to say something? Anybody agree with it so far in a way? Can you understand the big direction of the people from Walmart and McDonald's, the people the CIOs or the people that who started the business? Do you think that it's a little bit different to start it with something else to make what it is today without being an authoritarian? Robert. Irvine. Can you get on, Robert?
There's
Anybody?
I mean, I suppose if we had chosen authoritarian for those types of things, then we would probably have had a different outcome. I mean, if you think about how it was started in that sense of do it this way, if it was invited in a more democratic sense, it would have been done that way. But over time, I'm sure the ideas would have progressed in a different fashion. And who's to say if that's good or bad? It would certainly be different, though.
It would be different, wouldn't it? Because one person has a vision and he has his money. Do you get what I'm saying? He feels like he's got his money and his dream, and he doesn't want anybody else to come into it. You know, sometimes it's really hard to explain or express. Autospace, leadership with emphasize error-free process leads to safety and affordability in the aerospace manufacturing. Considering the millions of commercial cargo and NASA flights that launch and land safely every year, the aerospace industry deserves credit for constant passenger safety. The success would not be possible without an autocratic leadership and innovation. You kind of understand that, don't you? Sometimes why it is so important to make it work. So we kind of have an idea of what is going on with this first, Vince Lombardi, a big mentor in the football world. Leaders aren't born, they are made. And they are made just like anything else through hard work. Hopefully that's what we feel, don't you all think? Because if you don't work hard, you're not going to get to where you're going. It's not going to be an instant gratification, guys. And then if you get it to be an instant gratification, down the road, you're going to abuse it because you think that anybody else can do it. Doesn't work that way. You know, I would say, and I maybe shouldn't say it, but do you think in the restaurant world or becoming really famous or really thing, what do you think the odds are really high that you're not going to be that powerful person? But you know what? We strive for 1 in that 1,000. We strive to make it work and the dream of different people. But sometimes it takes a lot of 2 or 3 people with a dream to make one team work. Do you all get what I'm saying? And that's what we have to really make it work. Henry Ford, quality means doing it right when no one is looking. So there's different things. Film world, sports world, medicine world. You know, how about the gentleman from the Blue Cross of California? Don't you think he has to be stringent and have a really strong? He took over a company that was financial disaster, lower performing of the Blue Cross plan across the United States. And he turned it around. The leadership journey. So there's so many different things that make it work. H.D. Rockefeller, I don't think there is any quality of essential to success of any kind as a quality of preservation. Different things. Autocratic leadership style requirements. Types are usually all major decisions on their own, with little or no input from others. I think that would need to be rephrased for me. Extreme authoritarian leader often insists on making every minor decision. Leaders needing to control minute tasks often derailed as micromanagers. Although the military traditionally encouraged superiors to make unchallenged decisions. Is that true? A lot of you in the service, who've been in the service, have anything to say about that one? Kendricks, can you get on? Who else was in the service? Put your hand up. I know Loretta, you were, weren't you?
I was.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anybody else? Kendricks, can you hear me? No, I don't think yours is working today.
Trash.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else in the service? Nobody else to say? There's not many people talking today. Only got 16 today?
Yeah, it looks like 16 right now.
I saw. Really, we need to get it together, guys.
Guess they got caught in that Monday traffic.
Who said that one?
Norma.
Norm. Okay, Matt. Okay, that's a good one, Matt.
It's Marcus.
Was that Marcus? Yeah, I said it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. So, pros and cons. Let's look at all of them before making really a decision. Because some of us really need somebody to kind of tell us a little bit or a little form of what direction that we need to go. Some of us individually are given an ultimatum. I don't know, you feel that sometimes, don't you? Maybe with a family member. It might not be always the good thing, but it really brings us to a point to make a decision, yay or nay. How true is that? Everybody agree with that one?
Very true.
Very true, right? So you really want, you say you don't want to be told what to do, but you're waiting for somebody to tell you what to do.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
It's really important. And you say, no, I don't like that style. I don't care for that boss. But you're wanting to learn and you wanting to do it instead of somebody telling you every 2 seconds. How true is that too?
Mm-hmm.
Effective when decisions must come quickly, right away, without time to tell somebody else. You want to feel self-confident because that chef's been on your back to learn the procedure on the front line, how to cook it. And then at the end of the day, when everything has gone good and you're giving each other fives, right? You feel good because you accomplished something that you learned. How true is that, Marcus?
Very.
Very true, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So sometimes you do need some person right there. Keeping individuals, groups, or teams from missing the important deadline. During stressful periods, aromatic leaders are more effective and the teams appreciate their leadership. How many times did you see the football games or the football teams that have been driven in their locker rooms or made it to practice a lot more than, and yet they go back and put that coach on that shoulder and walk in that on that football field? How many times have you seen that?
A lot.
Repeat that, Chef. Repeat
A lot. Huh?
Repeat that.
I said, how many times have you seen what a coach, or even you could say a coach or an executive chef have made you go through the drill of coming in early to learn what you're supposed to do, and football coaches gone and made them work out more and make them talk more and make them do things. And at the end, when it's victorious, they pick them up on their shoulders and walk them in the field.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the executive chef comes in and you all clap at the end of the night. How many times have you seen that? I have.
Mm-hmm.
For good leadership.
Yeah, at the end of service.
So at the end of service, depends on the status quo. Last past the time when the quo has lost its status. So a lot. A definition. Bureaucratic leadership. Cambridge Dictionary defines the word: a system of controlling and managing a country, company, or organization that is operated by a large number of officials employed to follow rules carefully. The term is derived from the French word bureau, which stands for office or desk, and the Greek suffix krateria, which denotes the power of bureaucracy and therefore, in essence, the power in the office. Different version. The style is always a rigid system of labor and clear structure of command, which is enabled by specific and strict rules. In addition, the people with the system are assigned to the rules and the best fit for their skills. Framework requires continuous development for both the leader and subordinates. Because of these requirements, the system tends to focus on rules, laws, regulations, and the basis of power and functionality. Bureaucratic leadership often is used by restaurant chains since it keeps everything consistent. A guest can walk into a Chili's and expect the food to be pretty much the same as every other Chili's. Pretty important, I think. Sometimes when you're doing your cooking on the front line, and you're presenting. Remember when you have your I don't know what you call it in the culinary world, but when you're doing your fast forward, is that Chef Cliff? That when you have them do things on the line and prepare they do their food, what do you call that? Does anybody know?
You're not talking about the practical, huh?
You know, when you're cooking and then they have a certain amount of time to get the
Fast
food.
fire. Fast fire.
What are they called?
Fast fire.
Fast fire. Why do you think sometimes they make you do 2 plates at one time or 2 different plates at one time?
Who's in the weeds?
Kendrick, your thing's not working, honey. Not working.
I think that's Chef.
No, that was, no, that's not. There you are. What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah. Chef Cliff, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Somebody's got a really loud speaker.
Yeah,
Much better.
I'll try to mute people.
Okay, so when you call that hot fire, or was that? So why do you think that why do they want you to look at 2 plates at a time? Or do 2 plates sometimes at a time?
Because they're in the weeds.
No. Oh, well, yeah, but if they're doing the two same plates, it's because of comparison of what the dish should look like, compatibility, and learning how to do consistency on a product that you came up with. That's why Chili's and McDonald's have the same item going, because people need to see what 2 items of the same dinner or the same, I'm trying to think of the word, the same item has to look alike. They're into playing consistency, make sure one's not bigger than the other, the ounces, the pounds and ounces of, I shouldn't say pounds because it's always ounces.
The plating. The plating.
Yeah, has to be basically the same.
The nice, yeah, it needs to be carbon copy each.
Carbon copy of the other one, correct. Thank you, Chef Cliff.
You're welcome.
Trying to think of the word. The style is so easily to pull off, providing that you already have all the rules and standards of the place that you're working at. Especially like Chili's. Hopefully you go in the same restaurant and they have a picture of what it's supposed to look like. Same thing in desserts, guys. You know, you need to have what it looks like, what it costs, make sure it's visually looking alike. The style is easy to pull off, provided you already have all the rules and standards in its place. However, there are one style you should try to avoid at all possible. In a bureaucratic system, an employee is required to do certain things when they get in the way of providing good customer service. One of the key ingredients to that. You want to use a bureaucratic approach to leadership. At any time you create a standard procedure, whether it is training or cleaning up, for all driving up the parts of competitive dishes and bureaucracy leadership. So, understanding different things. 6 principles. 1 is stick to the legal format. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. That's, yeah. Leadership relies on strict and formal hierarchy, which guarantees members within the organization are aware of the structure, the authority and organization in the manner that guarantees higher level of leadership controls each level of its subordinates, which in turn controls another layer of leaders. The formal ensures authorities in clearly defined and the command structure works well for well-oiled machine. The strict informer is a basic of bureaucracy leadership or framework. It guarantees the organization can plan efficiently and ensures the decision-making is centralized. So you have a president, a vice president, and then you have three different people that is on underneath: the management, and then the people that work, and the dollar figure at the bottom. Different ways of interpreting different things. People are organized according to specialties, sorry. Bureaucracy leader always associates with high level of skill, but emphasizes knowledge and expertise in the framework. The system isn't about knowing the right people or being at the best at selling yourself as a position. The next one, Sheffy. The system always tries to combine the best talent with the right person. How important is that? So, number 2, rules and regulations and the laws control the organization. The bureaucratic system requires defined rules will control the structure and keep it in place. The two elements are the cornerstones of the model because they both components each other to provide support for each other. The rules will provide consistency within the framework. The bureaucratic system is known for its sometimes laborious rules, but it is this that creates the framework of leadership. It shouldn't be as a burdensome aspect either, as a leader is more able to manage subordinates in just a manner as framework provides consistency and execution. 4 key missions. The next one, Chevy. After that one. One more. I read that out. According to Webber, the bureaucratic organization has either of these 2 missions. A focus mission, which means the organization is aimed at serving the stockholders, the board, and any other agency. It empowers it to operate. Remember the big leadership on the top, coming down the ladder. In focus mission, which puts the organization itself in a focus of the operation. Under this mission, the aim is to provide benefits to the organization and to the people within it, such as creating more profit, improve the market share to enhance cash flow, really, or stream. So it's a different form of doing something. Impersonal style. Linking or thinking. Age, race, sex. Durability. While certain leadership framework put the person in the front, such as servant leader or charismatic leader, the bureaucratic system is purposely impersonal. The personalities and the individual achievements are not at the core of the system. The main focus should be the organization and the performance. The individual takes a lesser role. Wow. The reason behind that thinking is consistency and equal treatment. Hopefully they do that without being a bureaucratic, guys. You know, I believe in equality or being equal and balancing it out in the whole kitchen aspect of it. You have to take that individually and see what the person performs. The reason behind the thinking is consistent and equal treatment. According to Weber, the kind of impersonal approach can guarantee the operation and functions performed rationally and not affected by emotions or individual differences. So let me just say a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about hiring a based or technical proficiency. Just as the subordinates are directed to roll the suit, their individual skill set, the hiring in a bureaucratic leadership models the base solely on technical proficiency, which means that the people who have the skill required in the specific role will always get the rule. As long as you're able to do the job appropriately, and then you are guaranteed the role. Whoa, that's a mouthful by itself, don't you think? What does anybody think so far? Anybody have a statement? Marcus, you're always on the top. I see your picture, you and Letter, and now Robert. Anybody needs to get on. I need to see your faces so I know who I'm talking to. Matt, get on.
Chef.
Jose, get on.
Chef.
Yeah.
Hendricks, he's having some problems with his laptop. He can hear us fine, but his screen is frozen.
Yeah, I noticed, and it gets very static. Did you notice how static it gets?
I told him.
Yeah, it gets really, really static. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Kimberly, are you there? Okay. Rihanna, did you notice we lost somebody today?
Say it again.
I said, do you notice that we lost somebody that's not in our class anymore? It's a SAT. How about Mercedes? She's going to go to the evening class.
Gotcha.
Got it? Okay. Trevor, it's good morning. How are you? Trenton, sorry. Good morning.
Morning,
Wake
Chef.
up? You just wake up?
No, I've been up for a little bit now.
Okay. All right. Good to see you, Matt. Are you having a rough morning?
No, I've been up.
Have you? Good. How about Jose?
I'm here, Chef.
Are you there?
Yes,
Thank
Chef.
you. What do you have to say? Are you just waking up too?
No, I'm good right now.
You're good?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see your face. Thank you. I have to see faces. It's a lot better for me to see faces than these names on there. Mia, are you there? Where's Roro? Where's Roro? Thank you, Jonas. Appreciate it. Is Roro here today?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Like to see your face, please, if you can. Thank you. There's that smile.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See, it's a lot easier for me to see faces and to talk to you than it is for me to see these names. Do you know? So we're up to 18. So what do you all think about that style a little bit? Sometimes don't you think we need, as really being in a kitchen or even in anything that you do, need a little form of direction? It's not as blunt or as dominant as our first one, right? Bianca, what do you all think? Anybody saying anything? Can you write it in there so I can see? Nobody wants to say anything at all?
I like this form of management, but I also like when employees have an input as well.
Do you?
Yes, ma'am. Just because I've been in a position where the management really didn't listen to the employees. Because I feel like the employees are doing the hard work. So if they need any changes, or doing the groundwork. So if they need any changes, if they feel if anything can help with the structure of the business, then I feel like they should have an input. But I still believe like the the management, the bureaucracy as far as management. The structure is actually there. It's better, but
the structure has to be strong.
Yes, ma'am.
Of anything, and depending on even whatever you do, I think the structure has to be really, really strong. I think also, but don't you think also that when you do have a meeting with your employees or when you're doing it, don't do it when you've got 50 tickets up. It is better to do it in a meeting once a week or maybe once a day at the end of the day or the beginning of the day to bring your voice, your opinion, instead of trying to voice your opinion when the line is really busy. You get what I'm saying, Roro? Yes. I mean, because if you start to be a boss in the middle of a fire up or when you've got many, it's just not right. You got to be fair to each other and respect each other. That's the key word in what you're doing. So just as a subordinate as directed to roles and suit their individual skill sets, the hiring of bureaucratic leadership models based solely on technical and proficiency. So there's a lot of things that have to be considered in and different things. Good. So good to see all your faces, guys. So I know Hendrix cannot. Delia? Really?
Right here, Chef.
Okay. Like to see that. And Rashonda, are you there?
That's me, Chef.
No, but look, why is it coming up that way? Because see, I have the names on the bottom and you should just go into that block. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, it's because I'm watching it.
It doesn't work that way. I know.
No, I like to watch it on my computer as well. That's why.
Huh?
I like to watch it on my computer as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. And so when you watch it on the computer, you go into that block.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I got it.
I'm here.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. Andre, are you around or that picture is going to be around forever and ever? Amen. He's not answering. Are you sleeping? Okay. Advantages. It should be the next one, Chef. Different to certain other leaders, their theories. Oh. It's okay. I got it. I've got it on my screen too. They're looking at it.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. Such a characteristic leader and bureaucratic model doesn't emphasize the leader. The leader is only the position, though his or her compliance and the order doesn't come from his or her personality, but the position. That's a good line to put, really, because sometimes the running of the kitchen may be not emphasized on what he wants to do, but his boss tells him to do. Do you all get what I'm saying? So sometimes you yelling at your boss doesn't mean anything because he's getting orders from somebody else. Everybody kind of understand that? And so it's a hard play to work because you want your job, but yet you need to get the job done in the front line. So the bureaucratic leadership system can provide extreme reliable results. Its guarantees procedures doesn't falter under the pressure and ensures everybody in the organization is aware of the process and objectives. Job security can be high, can act on motivational boost and help the subordinates to maintain professionalism. So, a little bit. Disadvantages.
Do you want to take a break? It's around.
What time is it? I was just thinking about that.
It's around. It's 7:13. We usually break around 7:15.
All right, let's take a 10-minute break.
All right, cool.
Pretty good for everybody?
10 minutes. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Thank you.
Hey, Chef Pablo.
Yeah.
Remember me?
Oh my gosh. How are you?
Good.
I didn't realize you're not in this class, are you?
No, but he is.
Oh my gosh. That's great. How are you doing now? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you home?
No, I'm in Dallas with him.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Aren't you the one that I text at the last day of class to make sure you get the other quiz done? Yeah. And thank you for doing it. I appreciate that. Yeah. Is everything good?
Yeah. He just wanted to get on camera and tell you that he was a little bit late, but he's here.
Okay. You listen. Make a promise to me. You know how I am. All I have to do is look at you, right? You make sure he's in class every day.
I will.
He needs to be. Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is it's a different way of doing it, but I can't believe I'm doing it. You know me and computers, and I've had to sit and learn a lot, but I love it. I'm really enjoying it. So make sure tomorrow, he has to be here tomorrow because I'm going to be talking about the spreadsheets. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Make sure you're here tomorrow because we're going to do an hour of it to make sure that you get to know the spreadsheets of how to do it and get your project started. Okay. So please make sure that he is here. All right.
Okay.
All right. Did you get it? So make sure. Because it's really, really important. Because if you don't get it, it's going to be pretty difficult to get it all together and to turn it in. Did you do anything special this weekend, Chef Cliff?
No, well, we dyed Easter eggs, we played games, we made dinner, but nothing too major, but it was a great weekend. How about you? Other than your parties?
Yeah, I mean, my kids, that's all I.
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere else. I mean, I just went to.
How are your kids?
Oh, good. It was my grandson's birthday on Friday, so we went down there, and then.
How old?
8. He is my youngest of my grandkids.
Nice. 8.
And then the thing is, they live in New Braunfels.
Oh, really?
So, and they're moving. They just sold their home and.
They're moving out of New Braunfels or moving?
No, they're going to, because my son works for, he's a sommelier. He works for Republics.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that travels for them all over. So,
oh, nice.
And so he's kind of getting closer to home. I mean, closer to work.
Yeah.
Because he's one of their directors. So it's really, it's hard with the traffic today.
Yes.
Got to find a job where you can get to work fast.
I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, and New Braunfels is great. I love New Braunfels.
Yeah.
My parents live there as well.
What did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we on break, Chef?
Yeah, for a few more minutes.
Okay.
I need to look at the clock.
Down. My computer shut down, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm just. What time is it?
It is 7:22.
Is that about the right time? What time did we say? 10 minutes? It was 7:13.
That's right. One more minute.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a really long chapter.
Was this the slide where we were at?
Disadvantages, correct.
Okay.
I have it on my computer too, so I have a
Yeah, I
form
know.
of backup.
Thank you. And whenever you want to go.
All right. Are you all back, guys? It's 17 of us. Let's go. We've got, today is really a long day, and that's why Chef Cliff decided that we are going to be doing a spreadsheet talk tomorrow. So before you better listen to me, and I mean it, is that tomorrow you better be here. Because tomorrow we're going to teach you how to start the spreadsheets for your end of your class project and to make it easier for you. So if you have any questions and stuff, we're going to take an hour of the class time tomorrow, which is more acceptable than it is today, to talk about spreadsheets and how to lay it out and where to go and how to do it. So tomorrow is a really important day. So that number better be close to 25, 26, 27 instead of 17. We've got too many people missing today. I don't know if you ate too many Easter egg candy or what it is, or you slept in or whatever it is. We got to make sure that we are here tomorrow. Would you please make sure you put your thumbs up, please, to make sure that you're here tomorrow to understand what we've got to get done. Because we're not going to keep talking about it, guys. We've got so much on this project that we have to continue doing it. Do you all get what I'm saying? So you better be here tomorrow to make sure that you understand each position that we're going to be talking about. How we start, how we lay it out, how we're going to be doing different things. So I want to make sure that you're all here tomorrow, and it's really important to make it work. So I want to make sure we start. Now I'm going to go back to what we're going to do today. The leadership style does not empower subordinates. I think I already read this part. It rewards people with a professional that can follow rules. And there are not much emphasis on increasing their expertise. So it's a kind of a repetitive job of a person that is in authority at that position. Do you know the levels that we talked about? The meaning the one person, and then the executive chef, and then it comes down the law, comes down the rule. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Bureaucrats, leaders. Really, one of my people that I think highly of is Winston Churchill. While British Prime Minister Winston Churchill showed a number of different leadership qualities, bureaucratic leadership is definitely among his strongest models he used. Churchill had charisma, and he used during the World War II, which he relied heavily structured system to get things done. Got to have a personality, guys, to empower the bureaucracy of a good leader. You've got to have people skills. I think in any of them, conveying what you want to convey. Because if you don't have leader skills, you're going to be fighting a battle. Churchill's key bureaucratic leader traits was decisive nature and follow the plan. Churchill was wary with both Stalin, Soviet leader, and Hitler at that time. Can you imagine meeting those two and trying to play against them? But Churchill stuck to his decision, making the view of the two leaders. Eventually, as the war began and tear Europe, Churchill was voted in and he created a decision plan to defeat its enemy at no cost. Churchill was also showed plenty of persistence in his famous speech. Whatever the cost may be, we shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the ground, we will fight in the fields and the streets, and we shall fight in the hills, we shall never surrender. Wow. Leadership role. He was detail-oriented. Sometimes that was a key trait of a framework for a bureaucratic. He wanted to know everything involving different aspects of the government and wartime military effect. He understood the importance of trial and error. Same thing with us on the front line, guys. We all make a mistake. It's okay. But we learn from it. The next one, Colin Powell, another big leader. Another great political example of bureaucratic leader. The leader's style has roots in the military, which in an organization that often utilizes the model. Powell quickly rose in the ranks of the US military, becoming a general, eventually the first Black member of the Joint Staff, Chiefs of Staff. His leadership skills was recognized in 2001 when he became the US Secretary of State. He learned a little bit about leadership and needed to follow the procedures and the norms. He understood the success was all about optimizing your potential. Boy, those are good words. Optimizing your potential. In essence, it was bureaucratic framework is all about creating a system that maximizes its potential for greatness and creates efficiency across the organization. And looking at people to maximize what they can do. Colin Powell continued, focused always on a mission and the task ahead. It wasn't ever about achieving personal greatness. He knew the greatness organization succeeded and failed together. I try to do my best with what has come my way. I'm not about ambition. I had a full to achieve public life. A great quote. Bureaucratic leadership is highlighted in the book. Psychologist George Ritzer. He feels that McDonaldization happens when a society adapts the characteristic of a fast food restaurant. I'm going to go fast through some of these. Democratic leadership. What is that all about? Democratic is a concept everyone is aware in order to understand how democratic leadership works. You must comprehend the age-old theory of democracy. The word democratic has a root in ancient Greece, where there's a concept of diplomacy began. The word diplomacy means rule by the people. The essential idea that instead of somebody ruling over people, such as tyranny, the people hold power to decide. In a democratic system, everybody's included in a decision making. The democratic system perhaps is the most difficult system to pull off. Eventually, a large hospitality operation, doing the lunch rush, you won't have time to get everybody's input for every decision. Thus, in a restaurant and catering opposition, it's used very rarely when quick, decisive leadership is crucial. However, it can be more easily used for slower company-wide decision for which their time and to collaborate and get everybody's input. Remember what I said, at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, talk together to see what the input is. Isn't that right, Roro? To get it. Democratic leadership is mostly used in hotels. There are some hotel events, such as banquets, they require all the hotel departments to work in harmony. The culinary department prepares the food, the stewards department manage the wait staff and handles setup and cleanup. The booking department uses the opportunity to sell the rooms, and the banquet department coordinates with everybody. When done well, democratic management promotes producing a result that's greater than the sum of its parts. Impending a democratic leadership style requires trust. Whoa. When you interview, remember what we said, when you interview somebody to get what you're going to do. Are they able to hold that position? Are they able to run it? They might come across being really good at an interview, and then remember, when they're in that position, it might not be as good. How many ever come across that? A lot. People talk big, act low. Is that true? No feedback? Anybody saying anything? Understanding it. Oh yeah, I can do it. I can do it. No problem. I can do it. And then when you put them in that position, they don't know what to do. So the core functions of a democratic leadership is the distribution of leadership, the empowerment of subordinate, and adding democratic decision-making in what we're going to do. Distribution of leadership. Empowerment of subordinates. The next one. Sure. Yeah. Another vital function of a leadership system is the ability to empower the subordinate. In the simplest form, it happens through distribution and responsibility and the power to make decisions. Democratic leaders don't presumably assure people to participate in decision making. It actively requests people to contribute. In other essence. The advantages of a democratic leadership. The advantages to leadership style comes when an increased involvement of subordinate. Remember what you said. Get involved, Roro. Remember? Being part of a group that having equal say in running the things will provide a sense of empowerment to the employees. Sometimes it works and sometimes I don't think it works. I don't know about what you think, Chef Cliff.
Yeah, it works sometimes. I mean, it really kind of depends.
When people come in, they think they know it all until they figure out there's a lot more on the plate than they think.
That's correct.
You don't feel as a machine just by doing what you are told, but a part of an organization. Repetitive. Being more involved with a project and task will increase the subordinate commitment. When you feel the contribution is important, then you want to put your heart and soul into achieving the result. Advantages of a democratic leader. Furthermore, leadership also enjoys the benefits of diverse opinions. Decision-making process is based on sharing ideas and collaborating with a team to reach a consensus. Gathering different options or decisions isn't just a device idea or making about the increased knowledge. People are experts for doing different things and asking groups of people to contribute. You guarantee the people who know the most about giving subject provide their expertise. Therefore, decisions made within a group can show higher competence level. Disadvantages. The specific disadvantage of the theory is important leaders are aware of these. First, the leadership theory is often lacked in proper definition. Disadvantages continue. There's a loss of speed in decision making since democratic leadership requires everybody's input. Sometimes it's spot on. You can't wait for everybody's decision. If you have a problem with a manufacturing department, for example, you have to spend a month deciding what is the best medicine to buy as a replacement, or whether you should just repair it, machine to buy, sorry, than to just repair it. Democratic leadership relies on consensus. But the majority decision isn't always the best decision. A compromise is not always worth it. As you see, the diversity of opinion might not mean the best idea wins, but rather that the team creates a vision which most people agree with. You think a lot of times, guys, that works? I don't think so. Famous Democratic leaders, Dwight D. Eisenhower, for example, was a leader. He used a strategic approach to solving the issues, both military and diplomatically. He acted as the Supreme Alliance commander during the war, helping oversee one of the largest air and sea air adapts in history. He later became a Supreme Commander, and NATO served 2 terms as President of the United States. The Mayo Clinic family, 1889, William Mayo, along with the sons, founded the Mayo Clinic. Still there today. Cutting edge medical research for around the world, non-profit style. The hospital healthcare and research facility now attracts plenty of brilliant medical pioneers in different lifestyles, life changes, and styles, largely due to the focus of democratic leadership framework. Dr. Charlie Mayo said, the problem before us to exchange information, and so to educate men through travel, they shall develop final composition system of medicine, which will combine the best element to be found in all countries. He founded a company that gives back to the world to make anything work. The organization understood the importance of combining different levels of knowledge together. They didn't describe or simple specialist ideas so they would be as an expert. The definition of a specialist is one who knows more and more or less and less. Is that a great line?
I love it.
Good and true. The truth takes essential that the specialists do affect work. Must have some association with others who taken together to respect the whole of which the specialist is part of. Google, Larry Page, co-founder of the Google, CAO. I'm not going to go through all of them, but needing to know. The final thought, or the last thing of the democratic leadership, is perhaps the most beloved leadership framework. Idea for shared responsibility and the greater involvement of the whole team, and becomes a popular among CEOs and employees alike. But it is also a system which is difficult to establish and maintain. Sometimes a truly democratic leadership framework does not necessarily work because it has to slow in terms of decision making. Do you think it would be a good one on the front line? Anybody have a comment? What do you think?
Well, not right away, and just generally not, just because those kinds of things need to happen immediately. That's kind of why there's an expo in general. So that way it makes sure the ticket time is actually happening immediately. So that way there's really no discussion about what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. It's really hard because you want input from everybody. Remember what the gentleman said, if you needed to change a machine or do something, do you want to work on it or go buy a new one? And that takes a month. So it's a lot of things that you have to kind of think about. Last but not least, and then it's the management style. Laissez-faire management style is the French term, allowed to pass or leave it be. The management style is known as delective management. The management occurs, leaves little authority to the manager. Instead, all the members are given freedom to perform the task of whatever manner they choose. It's basically a hands-off approach, and one which believes the people are left to perform their function and will excel. I don't know. What do you all think? Let's leave it open. Let's talk about it for a second.
For me, I think that it's important to have a little bit of that. Let people have that freedom just a little bit to do what they are doing. But my opinion is a good manager has all of these. But what was, we saw laissez-faire. Someone was saying that video that we watched on 3 days ago or last week sometime, that guy had more of a laissez-faire attitude, right? So Laissez-faire is just kind of, oh, you just do it on your own time. You can do it whenever, you know, just whatever. And that's a sometimes a hard time to manage, or hard way to manage, because, you know, you said, hey, do it at some point, or get it done sometime today. And, you know, if it's not done in the time you feel like it should be done, you can't yell at them, because it's you do a laissez-faire kind of a management style, and then sometimes that's not the best. But anybody else?
I think
do
it
feel
leaves
like
a lot
it's
of room. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do feel like it's one of those styles that you can't really implement in a kitchen where there's too many people with too many levels of experience going on. But I do believe that in an area of general professionalism where everyone has a good idea of what needs to be done and already, maybe even has held that managerial position or has held that executive chef position. I'm talking about like the highest tier of like everyone is on the same page of what needs to be done, can be taken more of a laissez-faire role, because you don't even have to expect them to know what's going on, because they know what's going on. Like you can just say, hey, we're going to do this. And everyone in the kitchen is like, all right, let's go. So it doesn't really matter at that point, because there's already this on point sort of philosophy that they just naturally take upon themselves. So you don't have to.
There's a ground rule.
Yeah, sort of like that. There's pretty much just a ground rule, a base center of, we know what's going on. This is how it's going to go. And then from there, you can just be like, all right, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I agree. So to have a number of well-known political and business leadership throughout history who have exhibited characteristic a la laissez-faire leadership style. Steve Jobs is known for being giving instructions about what he would like to see in his team, and then leaving them on their own devices to figure out a fulfillment to his wishes. But let me just tell you something about Steve. It's, you know, it's got to do a lot with computers. Computers, you've got to grow, you know, they let us kind of grow, learning how to put the monitors together and how to interact with you, with Zoom and all of this stuff. It's a little bit different, I think, sometimes in a kitchen when specifically the recipe has to be specifically done in order to transmit or translate to the customer. Do you get what I'm saying? I think, I mean, talk to me. I mean, I would like to have some other input besides what I'm saying, but I think the kitchen is a little bit more, more decisive of what is expected of that restaurant or that hotel. And yes, you can have some ideas from the different people that you've hired to make it work. You know, you're not going to hire somebody off the street that doesn't know anything about cooking to make sure it works. Sometimes it's happened. I've seen it happen and it's been successful in some aspects of it, but he definitely needed direction in the first maybe couple of weeks to understand what he's going to be doing. But in his Steve Jobs world, I think he has to have a leadership that he hires people that know a little bit about the business. Do you get what I'm saying?
But Chef, I think that leadership style works in the restaurant, because you always have people that think they can put a spin on a recipe, or, you know, add some flavor, and then you come up with different taste of, you know, dishes. So I don't think that would work in a restaurant.
Nope. It's a different world than a computer world or a business world. It's a different form of interpretation.
Well, it does depend. I mean, the country club that I used to work at, the executive chef that I worked under, he would oftentimes actually be able to take that laissez-faire approach, at least with me and some of the other ones, because we had those, you know, professional people working in the environment. So he would say,
wait. You just said a word. You just said the word. Professional people that knew what they were doing. Don't bring it in and tell them what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So once he established that you knew what you were doing, then he let you grow.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that works.
Is that true?
Yeah.
So, but not telling somebody, do what you want to do in the first day of work. It ain't
well,
working.
obviously not. That would just be really bad in any sense of the word.
Do you understand? So that's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to relate.
Oh, that's
Gotta
what
have
you.
leadership.
Okay.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Chef.
Marcus. Yeah.
Hey, Chef. I think it's just too much. This management style just leaves too much room for slack. Like you can always give somebody their space, but just make sure they're still getting the job done or doing their job, even if they want to do it their own way or like grow the recipe or try different things. But if you just allow them to pass or leave it be, I just think that leaves too much room for slack. You just always have to watch over somebody if you're all in a management position.
I'm going to tell you that executive chef's not going to be around too long.
Why?
Because he's going to let you do whatever you want. And then every time when a customer comes in and eats, I'm just going to talk. You're going to talk chicken fried steak, and he loves the way the recipe was before for that restaurant. And you come back and you eat that chicken fried steak, and it's got so many spices in that bread mixture. He's not going to like it. And he said, well, what is so different about this? And he could say, well, I've got somebody back there that's trying to upscale it or trying to do his thing. It doesn't work that way. When you've got specific recipes to follow, you have to follow them and have guidelines.
I agree.
And sometimes, if you could have a meeting with your executive chef or the person that's a leader on that line and say to him, I've come up with something different. Would you want me to try it today? I think it would really complement the menu. Then that would be a good source.
Yes, ma'am.
Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So Herbert Hoover was famous for taking a humble approach. Remember, allowing people to experience and advisors to take tasks and lack knowledge of expertise. So, okay. So let's go to the next one. Benefits. Can you work in a motivated team with high expectations and skills, create benefits, create teams, may vary in independence, work well with leadership, provides needs, information, and materials to start the project. Drawbacks, not good for groups lacking needed skills. Exactly what Roro just now said and Marcus just said. Can result in poor performance and outcome. Leader may appear uninvolved. Do you know how many times have you been anywhere or been going to classes, or you've been not necessarily culinary classes, I'm talking about classes that you've done in school. If you don't have a good teacher or somebody to direct you in the way that you're going, you might not get it. How important is it to get it? Pretty important. Leaders may be uninvolved, confusion over roles in the group. Very important to direct people and make sure that they're going down that path that you need them to go to understand what we're doing. Do you all understand that? Really important. How about final thoughts? Not good for groups lacking needs of skills. Leadership is often dismissed as one of the leads for poor groups outcomes, but it becomes an appropriate and effective in a variety of situations and settings where group members are highly skilled. So the only way that you can really do this, Marcus, is people like you that know what they're doing and letting your boss tell you what you can do and vary from it. But it actually produces an excellent result because team members get to exercise a great deal of freedom and free from excessive micromanaging and often feel more inspired and creative. Okay, let me go to this one. There are other forms of leadership as well. Inspirational management style is an inspirational leader to easy task, but extremely effective when accomplished. The inspirational type of management requires superb people skills, a big heart, and honest desire to help your employee develop both in outside of a workplace. Great example. So somebody's asked you to talk or hire somebody that they know. And a chef comes to you and said, you know, I've got a student that is really, he'll give you 100%. But the only issue that I have is that I would love you to kind of pay attention to him, to mentor him in making it work. How many times have you gone someplace and you worked on a line and you see that? How true is that? And then what you're doing is making sure that person gets it. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Gets it. Because we all individually have different aspects of what success is. What is success? Robert might have a different form of success versus Marcus. You get it? Or Jonas. What does you have at success? Loretta, what is your success rate? So when I meet you and I know your ability, Matthew, Roro, Jose, all different ways. We all have different forms of success. Not to say Robert is come to his point that I have pushed him, that he is on this level. Now, Robert can do a lot more stuff, maybe in other aspects, in another position that Marcus couldn't conquer. So Marcus's success is up here. Do you all get what I'm saying? So we have to balance that aspect of what life is and what the kitchen is. Doesn't mean that Robert doesn't know some of the stuff. His ability might not be as great as Marcus's is. And that's how we have to take people individually. Not judge them, but inspire them and motivate them to make it work. That's what our levels are. You know, you can say, oh my God, this girl's been at this station and she doesn't know shit. Ro, I can hear you. Ro, say it right now in my ear. Don't you frickin' smile. You got it? But we all have to individually balance that kitchen out to make all of us bloom. Every one of us have something up here. And Robert, God bless him, he's coming around all the time to make sure that we're all on that level. Same thing with Matthew. So that's where we are, pluses and minuses. And make it work. That's what the talk that we just talked about, inspirational management is. People skills. Gotta have people skills, guys. Not only to your chef, but the people that work with you. You know, if they've done it 10 times and they haven't done it yet, I can understand going, calm down and make it work. You all did smile when I went, I'm very visual, you know, but realistic. Is that true? So we all work someplace to make and accept each other for what we can do. Andre, where are you? I see that folder. Do you all see that painting of his in the front? No, you don't. Are you there? Kimberly,
yes, Chef. I'm here, Chef.
Okay, where's your pic? I want to see you.
All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
See? What do you mean? You're getting out of bed now?
No, let me get my life together.
Oh, okay. Lord Almighty. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to watch you.
So what?
I said, I'm going to watch you.
I'm chilling, chef. We chilling. We good.
Oh, okay, I know you're chilling. There ain't no time to chill when you're supposed to learn.
I mean, we learning. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah. I got
great information.
I got it.
You're a great host. You know what I'm saying? So
listen. You know, you don't have to sweet talk me.
Job.
Hey, listen. You don't have to sweet talk me. I've been here for 9 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. You know, you're doing excellent. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you cook though.
You want? Oh no, bake. No, but you can see me cook when I cook Czech food, because that's what I love to do. But anyway, that's okay. But I'll bake for you.
All right, that's awesome.
No, listen. When we go back to class, I definitely would love all of us to get together and have something. I'll bake. I'll order pizza for us, and I'll make something sweet, if that's okay. So I want to make sure that
that's so nice.
And meet all of us. That's what we need to do, is all of us meet together to understand each other. Because I want to see, you can, the body language that I need to get to learn of all of you. I'll tell you yay or nay, and you know I will. You know? So I want to know what you learned from this block, from Chef Cliff and myself. All right? So tomorrow, where are you going to be tomorrow, guys?
Here.
In class.
Andre, I didn't want to see that picture. I want to hear it. Where?
In class.
In here. Okay? Because we are really, tomorrow is an important day, guys, for that spreadsheet. So we'll be doing a lecture on it.
And what I would do is go ahead, click on it, look at it, kind of get an idea of what's there, just so you can, once we get to it, you're not having to kind of investigate it. So I would just look at it. It's right below the Austin syllabus section, where the syllabus is, and then it says something about final practical or final project or something. So just make sure you look at that today or tomorrow morning before class starts.
Okay. Really also is before we start tomorrow, because the lecture will be on it tomorrow. I want you to go also with what Chef Cliff said, to go and make sure the project is there. I definitely want you to go to day one. This is going to be your homework tonight too, is for him what Chef Cliff said, for you to go to see what the project pertains. But I want you to go to day one. You all get it? What did I say? Day one. All right? Write it down. I need to get a piece of paper and write it down. I want you to go, yes.
Could you repeat that? My computer froze up and I don't know if it recorded that.
Yeah, no. Did you send him day one? Did you send him the PowerPoints? Did you send him the PowerPoints for day one?
Yes. They're all on the portal.
That's what I want. I want them to go to day one portal for the PowerPoints. You know the PowerPoints that we had for day one? Did you send them a recording of it, right?
I mean, I've got a copy of day one PowerPoints on day one with the video. Yes.
I want them to go to the video of day one PowerPoints.
Okay.
Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Did you all get it? I want you to go to slide. I want you to go to slide 10. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow. From 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Andre, I don't see you.
My bad, Chef. I was putting my Dewey on. You feel me?
Oh, I'm sure. So I want you to start that slide. I want you to start. That's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow.
I will show you. I'm going to just share the slide just so y'all can see what we're talking about, or what. So you said 16. or
I
what?
want to go to the, I want the slide from, is that what, day?
That's day 1, slide
Okay,
14.
I need to go to day 10. I want to go to slide 10.
Oh, slide 10, okay. There's slide 10 right there.
Okay, so this is what you want to do. Day 10, day 11.
Or no, slide 11, not day 10.
Not day 10. I want slide
10,
day 1, slide 10.
yes. 11.
11. You see what I'm talking about? The benefits of a spreadsheet. We are going to be talking about all of this tomorrow. All of this, okay? That's how we're going to decide on spreadsheets. Got it? I want that thumb up for me to see it. This is understanding what a spreadsheet is all about.
All right, I'm trying to stop sharing.
Okay, that's all right. Everybody get that? And then I'm going to continue 19, 20, and 21 till I get to 31. But that whole week, that day 1 is really an important factor, but it really is from slide number 10, how to work it. Important factor of the end of your project. How to get there, how to do it. Anybody feedbacks today about who you are and how you want to be told what to do? Let's start with Robert. What do you think, Robert?
I mean, I can see the benefits and the downsides of all the different management styles and everything. It doesn't really particularly bother me, or I don't really lean any way, because I can see why a manager would choose each position, and I can understand why they would mix the styles, why they would try different things for different employees and stuff. So I don't really have much of a preference.
Okay, Marcus.
For my current level of expertise as I have it right now, I feel like a bureaucratic system of management works best for me as an individual, but I would certainly like to aspire to be trusted with a laissez-faire sort of management, or even just be able to be in an environment where I could use a sort of laissez-faire scenario. But I would obviously like to see all styles of management incorporated into one area, because it will take that to efficiently manage any sort of institution.
Jonas. Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, basically, you know what these guys are saying. It's nice to learn about all the different styles, but there isn't one that's going to apply solely across the board. You got to be open and flexible.
Great word. And you know what? Cross-training has an awful lot to do with it, to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Loretta.
I'll just ditto to what Jonna says. I think I would prefer more of a bureaucratic style. You know, I prefer to be under that leadership, but I do understand that, you know, you kind of have to have a little bit of all of them, really, you know, to be successful. But, you know.
I get it. It's a good kind of really makes you think a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or what you want as an individual. Jose. What do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What style do you like? You talk too soft.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all, I don't mind.
All right.
But if you talk louder, maybe we can all hear it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know, never mind. Go ahead.
I it's bureaucratic as well.
You kind of like a little bit of leadership.
Yeah, well, not really. I don't. I tend
No?
to no. I tend to listen and follow.
Okay.
Mm.
You worked anywhere in the kitchen?
No, not really. The closest I've been to is a server, and they tried to teach me a little bit in the kitchen, but I just kind of went for it. So
Okay. All right. Are you enjoying today?
yes, it's fine.
Just fine?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the word fine.
Okay.
Okay.
You're great.
Matthew?
I would say bureaucratic, but I think just the same side, adapting an employee has to be able to do the same. So I could see, depending on your situation, any of them or a combination for myself, because I like a little bit of leadership.
I think basically overall, if you're coming into a position, I think you always want some form of input or some form of leadership. I don't care who you are. I think because you want to go to work to learn something and learn something new, hopefully. You know, sometimes they put people on the front line that know more than the executive chef does. I've seen it. I've seen it every day. And that sometimes gets scary for me. So, yeah, I think that we need to have some input from the people that are online to make things work. Yeah, I think it's a compliment of all of them. And I think Chef Cliff will understand that and agree with me on that aspect, that we need something of all of it to make a kitchen work and a team work. It's so very important. Okay, Roro. I didn't say your name, Roro.
I know.
I only have like 5 notes. Roro.
I said 80% bureaucratic, 10% democratic, 5% laissez-faire, 5% autocratic. I put it in percentages just so you can have like a mixture of all, but you know, I want to run it like 80% bureaucratic, of course.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good thought. I mean, it's a good way of interpreting, but then, you know, then you can always change it as you don't think it works. In some places you can change it and make it work in the other stars.
Yes, because I know there's other people that do stuff better than me or have higher skills than me. So I wouldn't mind other people's opinions. I'm always up for open mind.
Well, I think the word is also accepting. And don't be so judgmental, because I think we all have to listen. You know, being a boss doesn't mean being making sure that you do it and being on them all the time, but also listening to what the result or another variation of interpretation of what you're going to do. Accepting, because remember, just because you did that front line this week and he hires somebody else to do it another week, is not going to do it the way you do it. So we have to adapt overall. And I think, you know, that is a key word, is adaptation. Okay, Trent. How are you?
Not bad, ma'am.
Okay.
Bureaucratic.
Do you mind taking off your hat?
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I
Appreciate it.
just can't see your face. Thank you.
Yeah. We need to know that you're here.
Right here.
And oh yeah, I know. I got you. Andre, what do you think?
Yeah, Chef. I want to say it really depends on your staff. You know what I'm saying? Some people would like, you know, a laissez-faire. It really depends on like your experience. You know what I'm saying? I know for me, if I'm running the establishment and you know, and I have somebody new, I'm gonna, you know, kind of sort of micromanage them or have somebody, you know, with them. Son, I need you to chill. Yeah, so you know, just
How old is he?
it just depends. You know what I'm saying? On who your staff is, and just, you know, I feel like a good manager or whatever, you know, use pretty much all of them, depending on, you know, their staff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got somebody that's a hard ass and that knows what they're doing or whatever, you want to, you know, let them rock out. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends.
Where have you worked?
Military. I was a cook in the military. Worked at Chipotle. Worked at McDonald's. Like, I've been in the game for a little bit. And,
So adapting to everybody's thought and working together to make it proper and together, and to make the priority of the individual where their position is.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree. Dahlia. Hello. Or Delilah, sorry. Nope. Rena? Dorsey?
I'm a mix between bureaucratic and democratic because I like to have like authority, but I also want to have other people's input. Like, I don't want to not have someone's input, and then that could have helped and benefit me in the long run.
Okay. No picture for me today?
Sorry, Chef. I stepped.
Rena? Yeah. Where have you been?
I stepped out to the restroom.
Okay.
I am probably a bureaucratic type style. I enjoy structure. I like being told what to do.
You like people telling you what, in a way, to tell you what to do?
Yeah,
Or the
I like it.
direction you need to go? Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy their input and learning and growing.
It's less stressful for you?
Absolutely.
Kimberly?
Yes, ma'am.
Which direction?
I'm more of a laissez-faire because I feel like you have to let people show you what they know before you can get like all strict on them.
Okay. So that means, do you want to be kind of trained at what you want to do when you come into that position?
Yeah, it would be more like, let me show you what I know and then give me feedback. But don't just throw me in somewhere and then be like, well, this is how it's done.
Okay. Okay, I can understand you wanting to show what you know. It's not a problem for me because that's the only way that you go up the ladder a little bit is when you're doing your thing and showing them what you can do. But also when you're first hired, do you think that you need the direction or you don't think you need direction at all?
I don't think that I would need it.
You don't think you need the direction? So have you worked in the kitchen before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you've been working, how long have you been working in the kitchen what did you do in the kitchen?
I've done cooking, cleaning, customer service.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, that's a good viewpoint. I mean, it depends on what everybody else individually. Anybody else have any comment? Do you all know what your homework is? What did you think about this morning? How was it?
Can I jump in real quick?
Sure. No, I was coming to you right
Oh,
now.
yeah. No, so just like a couple of people were saying, I think to be a truly good manager and well-rounded manager, you have to wear so many hats and you've got to basically be able to work with different people, and some people like everybody else, y'all are laissez-faire, you're democratic, autocratic, all of these things, right? So a good manager is to be able to tailor their management style to all the people, or that's how I feel like for me, because there is no
each employee is different. Each employee gets motivated differently. And you've got to figure out what motivates them and what, you know, because there's some people that just need that pat on the back and say, good job. Or some people need to be on them. Hey, what are you doing? You got 5 minutes. Give them time and deadlines and all of that. So as a good manager, I feel like you have to hit all of those kind of styles because there is not one person, or no one is just not, all right, I'm sorry. Your whole staff is just not going to be laissez-faire. Your staff is going to be different. So just keep that in mind and know that a good manager is a chameleon and kind of adapts to the environment and adapts to your employees.
Great
Or that's how I feel.
Great way of interpreting it. It really is, because it's just the point that some people need more direction than others, and some can really bloom wherever they are because they're in it and they love it and they've investigated and they have tried and they are in a position that they are in at that time. So I think it just depends on individually of what you can bloom and how you interpret your way of doing your things. So today I think was really understanding management skills, to understand how we delegate to our people. Remember, some chefs are nasty, and I understand that. I've been there. Really nasty. They don't even have people skills. They never had people skills before, but we are learning to learn and adapt and learn how to have people skills. Because if you have people skills, you can have half your job is done. And interpreting what you do. People skills is really, really important. Instead of saying, I want you to do this, and we need to bring the word we into it. We work together to get it done. Kind of really important. Anybody else have anything to say? Chef Cliff?
No, I don't. I think if everybody's good, we can close out the day.
Thank you, Andre, for coming back.
You already know, Chef. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. How old is your son? Is it a son or a daughter?
I have two sons. I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh my God bless you.
Hey, I need them.
Well, you know what? I love hearing that about a dad saying that.
What?
I love it. I need them.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
They are my guys. Like, they keep me motivated. They keep me going. So
I have 2 sons. They're my heroes.
Awesome.
I get it.
Okay, Chef. I see you trying to, like, bond with me a little bit.
It's okay. I got it.
All right, y'all take it easy. Y'all take it easy.
Loved this morning. If you all have anything to say, if you think I talk too much, I'll zip it. But I want, you know what? Inquiring minds want to know. Isn't that the truth? And Chef Cliff is getting to know a little bit about me personally and how I work. So, and I'm getting to know a little bit about him too. And so we will get more and more involved in remember, tomorrow, what are we going to do? Everybody going to be here? Make sure we send out, making sure that you meet with your friends or the people that in your classmates, make sure that they are here tomorrow. It's an important day to understand the structure of a spreadsheet, to understand what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And so I'd really, really appreciate that. You all get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thumbs up. You have the best day ever. I'm going to go back to cleaning my office. All right. God bless. Be safe. All right. All of you, be safe. Bye, Roro. Or whatever. What do you do? I don't know. What does this mean? Roro, tell me what this means.
Peace. Peace out.
I thought peace was this way. My era was this way, not this way.
That's fine.
What does this mean? What did you do this for?
That's the peace sign too.
Okay.
Chunking the deuces.
I only know this way.
That's fine. That works
Okay.
out. That's peace out.
Deuces.
Love and harmony.
Deuces.
Oh, love and harmony. What?
Yes.
Never mind.
Bye,
Never
guys.
mind. See you tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Bye, Matthew.
Bye, Chef.
Bye, Delia. Wait a minute.
Delilah.
Lila. I know. What did I call you, Delia, the other minute? What did
Yeah, it's okay. It happens a
No,
lot.
no, it's not okay. I need to get your name right. I appreciate you being here, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy. Any questions? Do you have any questions, Matthew? No?
Nope.
I do.
Who is that? Oh, Roro
Renice,
again?
Roro, I'm still here, yes.
God bless us. God bless. I thought you said peace and sign already. God bless us all. Tell me what you want.
I'm overthinking the project, of course.
So go ahead.
I have all my menu already prepped out for, because I just want to use, I don't want to change anything. I want to use the project as my business plan. And so,
Great idea, because this will kind of give you an advantage of where you want to go and what you want to do.
yes. And I need all the cost, my ingredients and everything. I have all my ingredients, but as far as like, because I told you I wanted to serve breakfast and lunch only.
Correct.
And as far as the entrees, can I use my lunch ideas as an entree? And my desserts, I don't want to do desserts. I want to do like muffins and
Yeah, you can. I don't think there should be a problem in that at all.
I have no problem with that.
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, because I don't want to get too into depth with it. But yeah, I just need help as far as working out my business plan and everything.
The spreadsheet?
Yes, and I just need a checklist of everything that I need to know. So I guess as we go further into the classroom, I can get all the information I need. Because I was going to ask you today about the cost of mine, how to cost out ingredients, and of course where to get ingredients.
We're going to go in depth for it for the next week or so, honey. So don't even worry. You'll get to know the inside.
So now that I know that I can use my menu already as my appetizer, entree, and a dessert, I'm going to work on that. I just have to work. I like to be ahead. So I know what I'm doing, you know.
No, I understand.
Yes.
You know, since we can't go very far in the house, so we got to do something.
Yes. And then I'm not in class either to show you what I have physically, you know.
And what you can do is what we're going to try to do is get you to share it. Like, that's why we're trying to get people to do it on like Google Docs or, you know, any Google device or spreadsheet or whatever else, so they can share it real time with us so we can see exactly what you're seeing.
Yes. Okay. I'll get it all typed up.
Cool.
And I'll send that to you because I need input.
Yeah, we'll go over it for sure.
We will.
Okay.
Thank you, Roro.
Yes. You're welcome.
Have a great day.
I like the word Roro. You notice how many times
I know. I knew you would adjust to it eventually.
and then, you know, losing Mercedes, it's really sad for us because she's going to go to the evening class.
I thought before when we first did our orientation that she was in the evening class,
but
then I seen her in the morning, and then I really liked her personality. I liked her
because of her work or something.
On it, she knows what she wants.
Yes, yeah, I like her.
And I love people that know what they want. You know, maybe they don't know how to do it or how to get there, but